Thinking about starting triple B&E? Not sure what to do or how to go about it? Well, I've got 7 fantastic tips for you today. Hello and welcome back to Sarah's Joyful Journey. I'm Sarah Joy. Today we are going to be talking about triple B&E. What is triple B&E? You might have heard of it, you might not. Triple B&E is beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. So 3 B's and an E. Triple B&E is an elimination diet. It is designed to help you deal with hunger satiety, deal with sugar cravings, figure out what food is causing issues within your system. There are many, many different ways to use triple B&E. So let me give you a quick overview of what triple B&E is and why I will be launching on a 90-day challenge starting on April 1st. So triple B&E means that you're eating beef or ruminant animals, bacon, butter, and eggs. You're going to limit your coffee experience to 1 experience a day. No sweeteners, no creams, no dairy. I am going to try this time not to do coffee. However, there are several beverages that you can enjoy on triple B&E. Stay tuned for more information about that in another video. All right, so why am I starting a triple B&E challenge? I have done triple B&E before. I've done it for 30 days, 15 days, 20 days, a few different times. But at this stage in the game, I am struggling with energy levels and hormone levels as I am in that phase of perimenopause, going into menopause. And I just need simplicity and I need to focus on nutrient density and regulating my hormones as best as possible. So that is why I am choosing to join a triple B&E challenge or hosting a triple B&E challenge. There are many other reasons why that you can do it. If you're going to be joining me, let me know your why down below. Let's get into those 7 tips for you, starting with tip number 1. Tip number 1 is stock up on the right foods. If you want to see an example of this, you can go check out my grocery haul from the other day where I stocked up on foods for triple B&E. The reason that you're going to want to stock up on the right type of foods is so that you have access to them. If you have access to them and they're ready to go, you're going to do better at avoiding temptations. So make sure you have plenty of beef and other ruminant animals like lamb, bison. I'm going to be trying elk and veal and yak and possibly goat. Someone made a comment and I'm kind of leaning towards wanting to try goat if I can find it. And when you keep a variety of other meats, not just beef, you're going to have some variety, which is going to help keep things interesting and moving. And then it's just easy because your shopping is already done. Tip number 2, you're going to keep it simple. That is the most important tip of all. Keep your recipes simple. Just focus on the meats that you enjoy eating, easy preparations. So using your crock pot, if that's what you like, doing a pan fryer, doing the air fryer. My favorite tools are my cast iron skillet and my air fryer for sure. I will leverage the oven and a slow cooker when I do have time, or my sous vide when I have time. But those are not my go-tos. I tend to want to keep things pretty quick and easy, so simple is best. Tip number 3. With triple B&E, you're going to want to eat till satisfied, but not necessarily stuffed. Dr. Berry, the creator of the triple B&E diet, does say if you're learning hunger satiety and things like that, you should eat until you cannot take another bite. And that is good if you have no contact of what full feels like. I'm a little bit further along in my journey, so I will not be eating until I'm totally stuffed. I'm going to be until I'm satisfied. I can recognize that a little bit better. One other great benefit of eating till satiety is it's going to help you regulate those hunger hormones and be able to decide, is it true hunger or is it emotional hunger that you are going for? True hunger is going to be alleviated once you eat. It's going to present slowly. Whereas emotional eating is going to be cravings for specific food like sugar or cake or ice cream. Those are always going to be an emotional trigger. So focusing on triple B&E can help you learn to recognize what is true hunger and emotional eating. It's a very powerful tool to have in your toolbox. Tip number 4. All right, for tip number 4, we're going to prioritize hydration and electrolytes. So I have a few of my favorites here. It is important to remember that triple B&E does not use any sweeteners, so you're going to want to make sure your electrolytes have 0 sweeteners in it. So I'm going to show you a couple of my favorites. I have these still in the house and I'm going to finish them up, but they are not classified in my favorites, which is fine. If you like them, use them. The first one I have is LMNT Raw. Wonderful product. But my favorite happens to be salty. I just like the way it dissolves better. It's wonderful. I appreciate the company. I know both the owners of the company. I love what they stand for. So therefore, this is my favorite. This is my go-to. If you want to save a little bit of money, there is going to be a link down below that will get you 10% off of this, plus help support the channel. The other one I utilize a lot is going to be the Keto Chow electrolyte drops. You can buy a big bottle and you can get the little bottle as well. This usually lives in my purse so that I can quickly add it to my beverages. In this case, it's going to be my water. I have put it in tea and other things as well, but usually I just stick with water. And why is hydration important on the Triple B&E challenge? It's important because when you cut out carbs and sugar, you're not going to retain that hydration as well. So you want to make sure that you have plenty of hydration, plus you want to start balancing your electrolytes. And it's not fun when you have your electrolytes off. You can experience headaches and fatigue and things like that. So if you're prepared to work on your hydration and not forget your electrolytes, you can avoid those headaches and muscle cramps and things like that. Tip number 5. Prepare for an adaptation phase. If you're coming straight from the standard American diet into a triple B&E type of experience, there is definitely going to be a huge adaptation period. If you're used to having even more carbs and you're low carb and you're coming to a very strict triple B&E, you can still have some adjustment too. I know for me, my adaptation period is going to be pretty small because I live in a ketogenic state already. I don't eat a whole lot of carbs, so this is not going to be too much of a shift for me, but I do want to mention it because a lot of people do try this and come from the standard American diet, and I want you to feel successful and realize that that is normal. So what kind of things can you expect? In the first 2 weeks, you're going to feel low energy. You could possibly have some headaches. Again, refer back to your electrolytes if you do. You could also have dips in your energy, so you can have some lower energy, as well as some stomach distress as you get used to eating that much fat, or you can have constipation too if you don't get your hydration right, which is another reason why hydration is super, super important, as well as making sure we get plenty of salt and electrolytes. But I want to encourage you, if it's tough, don't give up. Push through. It really is a short period of time. I'm doing this challenge for 90 days. So if you were doing 30 days, it could take you a week or 2 to adjust. It's still going to take you a week or 2 to adjust. And then you're going to have a longer period when you do it for the full 90 days versus a short period after 2 weeks. So we want to go for longevity here, or at least that's my hope, is you will join me for the whole 90 days. But if you only want to join me for 30 or 60, that's fantastic too. Tip number 6. Plan for those social events. I know in the next 90 days, I am going to have, there's going to be at least one birthday, but she's older, so we might not have to celebrate it. But I'm planning to go to a meetup. I know that my anniversary is going to be during this time, and I'm going to want to celebrate and enjoy those social situations. So I like knowing where some safe places and safe options are for me. So I know that I can always get burger patties and things like that fairly easily. But my go-tos for social situations, if I'm going out for a meal, is I leverage Brazilian steakhouses, particularly when you can eat just as much meat as you want. Yes, they're pricey, and yes, they are a rare treat for me. We probably go 5 or 6 times a year. It's not all that much typically. So we will definitely be going for our anniversary. We're going to go to Texas de Brazil. It's our favorite. They've got lots of different beef options as well as different lamb options as well. So I can easily stick to those types of foods. Now, for the meetup that I'm doing, I'm planning to 1, eat before I go so that I'm not super hungry. And 2, I'm going to bring at least 1 or 2 dishes that I can safely enjoy during this time on Triple B and E. Everybody else will enjoy them as well, but I know that I can safely stick to those foods should I get hungry. And then reach out to family and friends for support. Let them know that you're doing this and why it's important to you, and you would appreciate them, just kind of having your back, encouraging you, letting you know that, you know what, it's okay. Maybe they can help you brainstorm together some safe options, or maybe they can take some special considerations into that for you. So definitely get your family and your friends on board with at least supporting you and understanding why it's super important for you. And finally, tip number 7, you're going to go ahead and you're going to want to track your progress. But I'm not talking about the scale here. The scale is not necessarily going to be your best measure of success. I do encourage you not to weigh daily during this time frame. Honestly, I got on the scale this morning, recorded my pre-Triple B and E weight, and my goal is not to step on that scale for 90 days, mostly because weight loss is going to be the added benefit. But I still don't want to do it because I know that if I get on that scale, I'm going to obsess about that scale. And that's going to be the only things that I am going to work on. So another tip is, and within this tip is, track your measurements, take your measurements, write a journal. Tonight, I'm going to be sitting down and I'm going to be talking about all the symptoms that I have, whether it's brain fog, which I do have, low energy. I've had some joint pains and issues like that, foot pain, back pain, stuff like that. So I'm going to be writing that down and just journaling my process of what changes, how I'm feeling, how I'm thinking, how my clothes are fitting, am I losing inches? I'll be able to measure all of that and not focus just on the scale, because you'd be surprised. Some of your biggest wins will not be that scale. So there you have it. There is our 7 tips for starting a Triple B and E type diet. So you're going to stock up on the right foods so that you're prepared. You're going to keep it super simple. Then you're going to eat until you're satisfied. Prioritize your hydration and don't forget those electrolytes. Prepare for a period of adaptation. It's going to take a little bit. And then you're going to track your progress, but not on that scale. And number 7 is you're going to have a plan for social situations. And yes, I just realized I mixed number 6 and 7, but they're still the same 7 tips. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. We're going to be meeting weekly during this Triple B and E challenge. We can talk about your questions, share successes and tips and things like that. So I hope that you will enjoy the content as well as join me on this journey. Have a wonderful and joyful evening, and don't forget to find joy in your journey.